It was an immortal genius who years ago prophetically proclaimed, "The heat is on."
Heat is on.
It's safe to say that no one knew Mr. Fry's words would still hold true 20 years later. No one except for Whirlwind Heat.
Yep.
The H is on. Just enough.
The story of Whirlwind Heat begins in Grand Rapids, where three 15-year-olds realize the only lives they're going to live in Michigan are those of furniture salesmen and managers at Sizzler's Steakhouse. Singer and moogist David Swanson tells us more.
Grand Rapids was really boring. There wasn't much to do.
Flipped hamburgers. We didn't really do anything. We played music in our basement for fun, and we just wanted to go to Detroit. I don't know, get out of town. We heard that Detroit had a good music scene. I don't know, we sure as hell aren't going to work at restaurants the rest of our lives. That's for sure.
Scared shitless, the boys write and record their first EP, Limited Edition Fuzz. Brad Holland elaborates.
Well, we recorded Limited Edition Fuzz at Steve's house on his 4-track. It was just kind of something to give to the people who we met at the time so they could hear us and kind of hear what our band sounded like and what we were about.
Then, in 1998, Jack White hears this recording and asks Whirlwind Heat to tour with his not-so-famous band, the White Stripes. Steve Damstra elaborates.
We met a guy named Dave Buick at a club in Detroit called the Gold Dollar. From there, he told his friend Jack to come see us next time we came to play in Detroit.
Jack came to the show to see us, and we gave him a copy of Limited Edition Fuzz. From there, we recorded 7 inches with him, and they were released on Italy Records.
At that point, we had no idea the White Stripes would become what they became. We had no idea that they were going to end up being that successful.
Later, when Jack's band becomes famous,
Thanks, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
he asks Whirlwind Heat to join his record label, Third Man Records, and for him to produce their debut record, Do Rabbits Wonder. The production is simple. Write a record with no hooks or repeating parts. David Swanson elaborates on this process.
Well, originally Do Rabbits Wonder was going to be just called No Hooks. It was supposed to be really simple, really straight to the point.
We just didn't want there to be any choruses whatsoever. But working with a chorus mastermind, Jack White, we had to throw a couple karate chop-yas in there and stuff.
That year, Whirlwind Heat tours the US, England, Europe, Australia, and Japan, playing shows with the White Stripes, Yeah Yeah Yeahs, and the Kills. They play Reading Fest, Coachella, South by Southwest, and CMJ. They dry hump on over 160 stages worldwide, sending kids all over the planet into mass convulsions. Bass player Steve Damstra tells us more.
The fans in other countries are great, especially in Japan. They're really dedicated to coming out to shows and supporting you, and they come out to your hotel rooms and train stations and greet you all over the place.
They were everywhere. They were in Teen Vogue, Rolling Stone, Stuff magazine. I don't think you understand. They were huge.
In 2004, Whirlwind Heat releases Flamingo Honey on Dim Mac XL recordings. 10 songs and 10 minutes long.
Oh yeah,
to
we
us.
met Steve Aoki when we were on tour with the Kills. He wanted us to record a noise 10-inch, and we figured we'd do him one better and record 10
1 minute songs.
1 minute songs.
The three lads from the Heat write and record the entire record in 5 hours with Brendan Benson at Grand Studio.
When we showed up to do Flamingo Honey, we had none of it written, and I don't think Brendan, he didn't really take it too seriously. Once we started going and started kind of like playing around with the ideas, Brendan and all of us started to get really into the songs that were kind of coming out of it.
And with a running time of only 10 minutes, you can listen to this record 4 times in the same span it'd take to listen to the New Strokes record. Later that year, the boys pile back in the van and drive across country to Paradise Studios in Sacramento, California to record with Kurt Shearer and Craig Long. After 1 week, they finished their self-financed, self-produced, full-length Types of Wood. Scheduled to be their 14th release, Types of Wood captures the band at yet another point in their unbridled creativity. Its sound is variegated and distinct. Drummer Brad Holland tells us more.
No. Before Types of Wood, we had only done recordings that sounded really lo-fi.
Bullshit.
Aside from the recordings we did with Jack, which were hi-fi.
Listen to Reagan and hear a faint echo of Blue Monday. Or tune into Frenchie and imagine a Gainsborough puppet show for the blind. Or put each of your index fingers on the center of each of your speakers and feel the slobbering, sloppy mess of teen sex sounds in Slugger. All this with just bass, drums, and Moog.
We wanted to sound extremely different than Do Rabbits Wonder.
So herein ends the story of Whirlwind Heat. Now in their early 20s and well beyond their years, the band is on the vanguard of a new kind of American music.
All you sanitary workers of Detroit. Let's just bug out, yo. The H zone. Yep. The H zone.